Okay, so then you're doing these. So you've got your founder partner, and you're
Mhm.
doing these customer interviews. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. What is the key? What is the key problem that starts to surface in these conversations? Is it what does that problem look like? Is it a few sets of customers who are really really obsessed with this one core problem? Is it a bunch of customers who are just everyone's just sort of denoting this problem? Like how did that come about, and how do you sort of crystallize that into a key insight?
Yeah. So when we started in the chatbot space, we were in sort of the travel chatbot space. It's kind of like a concierge for trip planning, right? And because we were a chatbot, and I was in the early days, I was the chatbot. Like I was behind the messenger and messaging people on iMessage, etc. We got a lot of great feedback from customers because they would be talking to the chatbot, aka me. Right? So you can get their exact feedback right away as they were engaged with chat. What we saw was that people liked the sort of recommendations and offers we were giving, but they didn't really dive for it, right? They would say
Mm,
something like, "Hey, thanks so much for the recommendation. This is great, but I booked it somewhere else because it was $10 cheaper," or "This is awesome, but I'm not really traveling right now, and I'll come back to it." Or so it was kind of always a nice to have, but it didn't feel like very strong PMF because people weren't dying for it. They weren't jumping through hoops. I mean, some people were sort of willing to buy, but there was much more pull towards, at least for our customers, just the actual transaction and purchase. And what we saw was that people really cared about saving money and not so much the
mm,
experience. And whether it's chat or web or UI interface, whatever, they don't really care about that. They care more about sort of the aspect of being able to get really good deals and offers and save money.
how do you know
That's
that though? What were they saying to you?
Oh, they were saying things like, yeah, thanks for your recommendation. This is great, but I booked it somewhere else, on
Right.
Agoda for $10 cheaper, right?
Mm,
And then I'm like, well, as a user, you're kind of like, yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's the recommendation is great, but you can buy it anywhere. So we really focused a lot more on the deals and savings and offerings for our customer, and less on the actual experience and chat and whatnot. So turns out it was a good decision because chat bots back then was too early, right? And the whole messenger chatbot craze kind of fizzled out. I know it's being a comeback with ChatGPT and OpenAI and whatever, so it's kind of ironic. But back then in 2016, it was a hype that really quickly fizzled. So we focused more on deals and savings and really giving people what they wanted, which is the deals and offers, and then, which I can talk about later, expanding that beyond just travel into many use cases, fintech, cashback, etc. So to multiple use cases.